Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to another episode of the weekly playlist. It's Friday, so it's time to show you guys the games I have been playing during the week. I actually just started my vacation 2 days ago, so this is my fourth vacation of the year. I don't have to go back to work until Thursday next week, which is awesome. Definitely looking forward to having time away from my job because it can get stressful at times. And these vacations give me more time to spend with my wife, more time to spend with our son, and gives me more time to play games and just relax, and so that's what I've been doing. I'll let you guys know my thoughts and opinions on these games. I would like to, of course, hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on the games I share with you, and let me know what games you guys have been playing, and if you have any suggestions on titles you think I should pick up, because you guys always suggest really fun titles and some stuff I have not heard of before, so definitely keep those coming. On Monday, my buddies Grant and Andy came out and had a retro gaming night, so we got to play some more games. And one of the games we played was on the Nintendo Switch, and it was actually the first time I had played this, and that was Overcooked 2. Now, I've played the first one with Grant and Andy, and I also played it with one of my other buddies, but I had never played the second game, so we were playing that one, and it's a really fun title. Definitely recommend checking it out. It's for players one to 4 players. I definitely would recommend at least 3 players or more. The more players you have, the easier the game is, because it's all about teamwork, working in a kitchen, creating different orders for customers, and the more orders you get created, the higher score is, and that's the whole point, is to get higher scores so you can get 3 stars, and each star has a different number attached to it, and that's the goal you have to get to achieve the different stars. So like if the star 3 is 800, now you have to put up enough orders to get that 800 score. And the game starts out easy, has a story mode. You start out with the first world, the first level, and you're working in like a normal kitchen, and you have pretty much like normal orders. You're making salads, or you might be making something with meat or stir fry or something, sushi, that kind of thing. But as you progress through the game, the orders become more difficult. The kitchens get crazier. You're no longer like a normal kitchen. Sometimes you're on like 2 buses that are driving together, and the buses will move apart, and so your characters will have to navigate around obstacles and stuff. And sometimes you're like, there's one with a hot air balloon, and then wind like can move counters around, and it can change the way the kitchen is, and so you have to adjust your strategy to move around. Sometimes you gotta throw items to each other, have different people do different tasks so you can achieve your goals. And it's a really fun party game. Definitely recommend you guys check out Overcooked 2 and the first Overcooked game. I want to get it for the Nintendo Switch, is what we played it on, but I do know they have it on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but definitely check out those games. They're very fun party games, and I had a lot of fun with those. We also played a little bit of the Super Mario Maker 2. Some really interesting levels that we found in this game, some music levels, and then I let my buddy Grant try out my level that I created, and he had a hard time with it, and so I was showing him part of it, but even I had some difficulty with that. But overall, I'm liking the Super Mario Maker 2. Very happy that I purchased this game. Glad that I have the online, because if you don't have the online, you can't even download levels or upload levels, and that takes away basically like 80% of the game, because you can play through the story mode, and there's like 100 levels on that, but after that point, you can't do anything else with the game if you don't have online. So make sure, if you get this game and you don't have online, get the online. You can get it for $20 a year, or if you buy this version for $10 more, it comes with the online, so it's basically getting the online for half price for $10, and it's good for an entire year. But it's a fun game. Great Mario title. You have 5 different styles. You have the regular Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World, New Super Mario Bros. U, and introducing the Super Mario 3D World, where they had the Cat Mario and stuff. And that's actually my favorite play style in this game, favorite levels to play through. Fantastic game. We had an absolute blast with it. I've talked about this since I've picked it up in several of these. Definitely recommend you guys get this game. It is awesome. And then we also played a little bit towards the end, some more Donkey Kong 64. We currently have like 68 bananas of the 200 to get, and I believe we're continuing on World 4. Fantastic game. Highly recommend checking out Donkey Kong 64. It's the first and only Donkey Kong game set in 3D. That's an adventure, not counting those Donkey Konga games with the bongos or anything, but just normal, like a Donkey Kong adventure game. Donkey Kong 64 is your only way to play in 3D. fun game. Now, since this is one of those earlier 3D games, the camera angles at times can get annoying, and your depth perception of where your character is in relation to an item can get annoying, especially in like some of the flying parts. But overall, it's a really fun title, and this is one that we want to beat, and it's also one that I want to get 100% of all the collectibles in the game, because each of the 5 Kongs in the game all have different colored bananas and collectibles to obtain in the game in order to get 100%. So there's quite a bit to do. So a lot of hours of content, and I do like all the 5 Kongs in it. You got Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong, Tiny Kong, Lanky Kong, and Chunky Kong. And I like all the different Kongs. They're all really cool. Lanky Kong is my favorite because he's an orangutan, and he has these super long arms that he can stretch out and attack enemies, and he can also do handstands and stuff, and he can fill up with gas and make himself float and stuff. Really cool, and the humor in the game is fun. Definitely recommend this one. We've been playing it a lot, and I've been talking about this one a lot, and I definitely recommend you guys check out Donkey Kong 64. I also rented Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 for the Nintendo Switch, and I got that from my local Family Video. I have that for a few more days, and so far I'm really enjoying the game. I'm definitely going to have to pick it up here at some point. Some of the humor is, set more like today. The game's kind of more silly than like the past Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, but I still enjoying it. Has a big roster of characters, and as you go through the story, you unlock more characters, and I have my favorites that I like to stick with. Like right now I'm playing with the Hulk, Iron Man, Wolverine, and Venom. And the different team members you pick, there's different power-ups and bonus stuff you can unlock by having certain team members. Like if you have a couple X-Men together, you can get an X-Men bonus. If you have like the Avengers, the old Avengers, or like Deadly Women, there's all kinds of bonuses that will increase your team stats by having certain team people together, and you can look at that through the menu, like who's compatible with each other. And it's a fun story. It's based off of Thanos and the Infinity Stones, and it mixes like comic book stuff along with the movie universe. So you'll have characters from both like different universes like together. Like Wolverine looks like the comic one, and Nick Fury is from the movie, and it's not the comic version Nick Fury, that kind of thing. And overall, so far, I'm enjoying the story. I'm probably about a quarter of the way through it, and I'm definitely enjoying it. And I don't think it's as good as the previous Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, but it's definitely still worth checking out if you enjoyed the first 2. It's definitely one I'm going to buy. I might rent it again for another 5 nights, since I still have 5 days left on my vacation, and so then the last day of my vacation will be the day to turn it in. So I think I might rent it to keep playing it. I'm having a blast with it. I like all the characters, and the story is not too bad. Definitely recommend you guys check out Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Definitely a fun title, and if you like the previous 2 games, the top-down action RPG game, you will enjoy this one. Now, it doesn't seem to be as much customization, though, as the previous 2, but that's kind of like the trend when you get into sequels. They seem to like first one's great, the second one's better, then sometimes they kind of dumb it down in later releases, and that's kind of what this third one feels like, but it's still worth checking out. Don't let that discourage you from trying it out. If you like the first 2, get number 3. And then the final game that I've been playing, and actually continuing it today, is Silent Hill Downpour for the Xbox 360. Now, there's a couple YouTubers that I watch on YouTube, and one of the people that I've been following has been playing this game and releasing a video every day of it. And after watching it, just made me want to I just gotta play Silent Hill Downpour again, because I got 4 of the 5 endings, and I never beat it on the hardest difficulty. And so this playthrough, right now I'm going through and beating it to get the 5th the 5th ending, and then I'm going to go back one more time and play it on the hardest difficulty, and that'll end up being that I'll beat the game 6 times. Now, a lot of people, shit on this game. It wasn't that great, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Definitely a good entry into the Silent Hill series. Not as good as the original trilogy, but it's still not bad, and it is still one of my favorite of the newer Silent Hill games over like Homecoming, anything like that. I prefer this one. You play as Murphy Pendleton. You're a prisoner. You end up escaping from a bus that crashes, and you end up in Silent Hill, and you have to go through the story and solving. I don't want to ruin anything in the story if you haven't played it before, But you play as Murphy Pendleton, and you have to go through the town of Silent Hill, and of course you're going to encounter different monsters, the Hell World. And something that's different with this game compared to other Silent Hill games in the past is you have weapons you can pick up, melee weapons that are breakable, and they're plentiful, and you don't like hold on to like other games, like the earlier Silent Hill games. You would pick up a pipe and you'd keep it the whole game and use it to beat enemies, and they never broke or anything. Where this one, you'll find items, just hundreds and hundreds of different weapons, lamps, beer bottles, which are useless, table legs, chairs, pipes, pipe wrenches, shovels, rakes, little spear things. There's all kinds of different weapons, knives, butcher knives that you can use to fight enemies. You also can block enemies as they attack you, and some, like these annoying witch-looking ladies, can scream at you and stun you, and they have giant claws and stuff, and you have to block their attacks. And you got to learn, you can't just hold the block button because they'll break through your center. You got to learn how to block and then hit the block button again and hit the block again. It's kind of, you end up learning as you play through it. And a lot of people said, oh, the combat's kind of shitty, it's kind of sad. But the whole point is, the dude's not a superhero. He's not a master fighting martial arts expert or anything. And he's just an average Joe like us, anybody, every day off the street. And I feel the combat reflects that, because there's no way, if you're not trained, that you're going to be able to defend yourself perfectly against these crazy-ass monsters. So I do enjoy that the combat is not perfect. I think it adds to the charm of the game, and I really like the story. Another big theme about this game is rain and water. So periodically, as you're running around the town, the storm will come and it'll start raining. And when it does rain, there's more enemies out, and there's also makes them stronger. So that's something to keep an eye out for. This also kind of has a little bit of open world to it when you get into the town after you get through the initial part of the game. And there's also side quests. There's like 14 of them for you to uncover, and the 14th one you can't actually do until you beat the game at least once, which is I'm doing now, to get that 5th secret ending. But it's a fun game. If you like Silent Hill games, don't listen to everyone who said this game was shit. Give it a try. It is worth checking out. And like I said, it's not as good as the original trilogy games, but it's still a solid Silent Hill title, and it's one of the best of the modern ones. They haven't had any other Silent Hill games really after this one. I really hope we do sometime in the future. But I'm having a blast playing Silent Hill Downpour, and I definitely recommend you guys check it out. Do the real quick recap. I talked about playing the Overcooked 2, which is a fun little cooking game which you can play with yourself or up to 4 players total with 3 buddies. Definitely recommend. The more people you play with, the easier it is and the more fun you'll have. Very fun game. Definitely recommend you checking out. You can get physical and digital copies of it. It's on Switch, it's on Xbox One, it's on PS4. Also talked about playing Super Mario Maker 2, fun game. There's so many different styles. There's just endless amount of levels you can download off the internet that different people have created, and there's some very creative people, some really fun levels. Had fun with that. Donkey Kong 64, fantastic Donkey Kong game. It's the only 3D one out there. Definitely would recommend you guys check that one out. Talked about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 for the Nintendo Switch, which is exclusive to the Switch. It's not as good as the first 2, but I'm still liking it. And if you enjoyed the first 2 games, I definitely recommend you check out Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. It has a great story, and it has a decent roster of characters, and I'm having fun with it. And then the last one we talked about was Silent Hill Downpour. Like I mentioned, not the best Silent Hill game in the world, but it's not the worst either. And I definitely think you should try it out. Just don't listen to the critics and the people who just say it's shit. Give it a try if you're a fan of Silent Hill games, because I don't think you'll be disappointed. So if you guys have played any of these the 5 games I mentioned, let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions on those. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care, have a wonderful day, and Sleepy. We'll see you guys next time.